If you don't have a yoga mat, it doesn't matter. Just try and be comfortable on a non-slippy surface. I'm keeping my socks on and my jumper on just now just to keep a little bit of heat in me. This house is freezing. Have blankets handy, cushions handy, even yoga blocks or books, whatever you need to help make poses more comfortable. So easy seated pose, it's called easy seated pose, but for me it can sometimes be quite tight in the hips, even in the knees. So if you want to sit against the wall for this, or even pop cushions under knees or under bottom, do whatever makes you more comfortable. So we're going to be sitting here just for the first little section. Okay, just have your hands resting gently on your lap. Perfect. And you can either close your eyes here or just look down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders up and back. Go for a few shoulder circles just to loosen off. Perfect. Last 3, 2, and 1. And just rest here again. Tuck the chin down towards the chest. Feel that stretch all the way up the back of your neck and across your upper back. Okay, so as I said, just when we're waiting for people to come in, tonight is the first full moon of the year. And full moon, it's actually called wolf moon, is signalling for connectivity, being bold and fearless, making new transformations into, it's almost like setting New Year's resolutions. So we're going to be thinking about that throughout tonight's class. Lots of back bends, lots of heart openers as we try to open ourselves up and get ready for these new changes. So just while we are settling into our mat, we're going to try and do a square breath. So that's when we're counting in 4. So take a big deep breath in, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out. 2, 3, 4, and then hold nothing. 2, 3, 4, and again, deep breath in. 2, 3, 4, hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, breathe it out. 2, 3, 4, hold nothing. 2, 3, 4, breathe it in. 4, hold here. 4, breathe it out. 4, and hold. And again, now I'm not going to count. Try and take your own rhythm. Keep that equal parts, 4, 4, 4 and 4, but your 4 might be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than mine. But with the emphasis being on really filling your tummy, filling your lungs on the inhale, holding strong with good posture, and then really exhaling, trying to empty lungs, empty tummy, to hold the nothingness. Keep going, just a few more rounds of this in your own time. Finish this last round that you are on. And then when you're ready, just taking your pointing finger onto the floor so that you are grounded into your mat. Perfect. Roll the shoulders back and down again. And just a little affirmation to begin tonight. So tonight I release old energy, fears, negative thoughts, toxic patterns, unhealthy attachments, and anything holding me back. I am ready for transformation and am clearing space for a new chapter filled with lots of opportunities and abundance. Okay, little challenge to get us going. This starts super easy and I promise you 5 or 6 in, it burns. But we're going to do this at the start and then you won't have to do anything fast again. All we're doing is a deep breath in and pointing your fingers up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, you're going to be touching down to the floor. Now it's going to be fast, so it's going to be an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So it's Kundalini yoga, so that breath of fire, in, out, as fast as you can, up and out. We're going for 1 minute. It will get tough, but keep going with it and get that sense of accomplishment when you finish that minute without stopping. If you need a rest, take a rest, but try and get all the way through. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, out, point up, point down. Try and touch the floor. It's just that fleeting grounding into the mat before we reach up to the sky. And this also signifies that we are grounded, but we're still capable of reaching upwards, doing amazing things, pushing ourselves, getting ready for bigger, better things. So keep it going. That's 15 seconds. Keep going, keep going. Looking good? Point all the way up, so we're trying to get our arms in towards our ears. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, out, in, out, in, out. Keep it going. Halfway there. Nice, keep it going. Shoulders are hopefully burning by now. Oh, I'm getting to cheek, somebody's wanting in. Here we go, keep going. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. Now pull everything up, put your hands above your head, and then slow motion down through the middle of your body to your centre. Perfect. Taking your elbow across the body. You might even manage to get it onto the knee and give yourself an extra little twist. Inhale, come back to centre. Reach up first. Back to your heart centre. And then try in the opposite way. Elbow down. Into that twist. Try and look up towards the sky. Go as far as it's comfortable for you. Looking good. And then slowly bring your body back to centre. You can finally give your arms a little shake, roll the shoulders back, and then rock yourself over so that you are in our tabletop position. Now I've deliberately brought in some moves from last week so everything starts to feel a little bit more familiar, get more confident in certain poses. So tabletop position, flat backs, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Just take a wee moment to get comfy, spreading all your fingers wide. And then we're going to inhale, lift, look forwards, tailbone lifts and your belly button drops to the floor. This is our cow pose. If anyone's wrists really don't like this, what you can try is doing fists instead. Okay, from here, tuck the chin under, tailbone comes under and lift your belly button up, making yourself as humped as possible into our angry cat shape. Now I should have said at the beginning of this class, if there's any problems with my volume, if somebody can unmute and just give me a little shout quickly and I'll get it fixed. Inhale, look forwards again. Really dropping the chest, drop the tummy. Try and create space between your ears and your shoulders. Opening across your chest. Deep breath in here. And then exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, bring the middle of your back up towards the ceiling. Let's go a little bit faster. Inhale. Look forwards. Exhale. Tuck it under. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Up and forwards, and exhale, tuck it down. Really try and lift the middle of your back up. Last 3, and tuck. 2, and tuck, and 1. And last tuck. Sit your bottom all the way back onto your heels, stretch the hands forwards, and come into our child pose. That nice stretch for your shoulders. If it's uncomfy, going all the way down to the floor, pop a cushion underneath your bottom. Okay, from here, chin and chest as close to the floor as you can manage. Slide your body through, elbows come a little bit wider until you're lying flat on your tummy. From here, inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, come into cobra pose. You didn't last very long, Dolly. If cobra pose is tight in your back, you can drop the elbows down instead into sphinx pose. From here, push it through your tabletop, come all the way back until you're sitting on your heels. Now if you've still got socks on, this is a good chance to whip them off so we are ready for our downward facing dogs. Stay. Turn the toes under, lift the hips up high, push your bum up, up, up. Try and straighten your legs and come into your first downward facing dog. Go for a wiggle. See how it feels for you. This is one that you can practice throughout the week and you'll see big improvements. Makes it a little bit easier each time you come back. Spread your fingers wide, make sure the weight is spread evenly in both hands. Hips are still high, remember. And you're pushing your chest through towards your legs. Hold in here. 3 more slow, deep breaths. That's it, keep going. And if it's uncomfy, you can slightly bend into the knees. From here, take your right foot and step it underneath your chest. Come into our low lunge. Back knee down for a slightly easier option, or you can keep it straight with the toes turned underneath. And just the same as we did last week, go for a few pulses. So every time we're dropping the hips, lower down, forward and down, that diagonal down, or harder option. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. At this front foot, lift and place it back down behind you. Make sure your fingers are still spread wide. Then when you're ready, left foot this time, march it underneath. Flat foot comes to the floor. Your back knee can pop down for an easier option. Or keep it long and straight. Really work that flexibility in your hip and in your groin. When you're ready, pulse it out for 10, 9, 8. If you struggle to get your foot that far forward, what you can do is bring your back knee down, lift the leg until you've got that flat foot, and then try from here. So really important that your front foot is flat and your knee is above the heel. I think that's everyone done 10, so good job. Lift that front foot up, kick it back into downward facing dog. Have another little wiggle. Then very slow motion, bend in both knees, crouch yourself down, down, down. Uncurl the toes. Have a nice rest in child pose. Now, I should have said, if anything feels uncomfy or if you just want a little moment to gather yourself and get ready for the next bit, come to child pose and then join back in whenever you're ready. Looks good, guys. Okay, from here, bring yourself up into tabletop. We're just going to do another little warm-up activity for our chest, shoulders and back. So it's thread the needle. We're going to take our hands up towards the sky and then exhale, tuck the arm underneath and reach through the gap. Now, go as far as you can, But if you are managing to get your shoulder down and your ear down, what you can try is lifting your free hand up towards the sky. Try that on the other side. So we're pushing up like a little press up into tabletop. Then we're taking our left hand this time, reaching round and up. Thread it through. Get as low as you can. Maybe your shoulder comes down, maybe your ear. Free hand can go up to the sky. Push yourself back up to crawling position. Let's do that one more time on each side, reaching wide and up. Thread the needle through the gap. Take it low. Reaching high with your other hand. If that other hand's not your option tonight, that's okay. Stick with what you're comfortable with. When you're ready, push it back up into tabletop. Left hand reaches, thread it through. Back up. And then we're going to do puppy pose, just because Dolly has been a little menace. Staying on your tabletop, you're going to walk your hands forwards, then take them as wide as your mat, or if you imagine, if you don't have a mat, how wide a yoga mat is. And then we're keeping our hips above our knees, so the bottom doesn't go back or forwards, it's exactly where it is just now. And then slowly begin to slide, 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 bringing your chin down to the floor. Maybe your chest, it depends how flexible your shoulders and your back is. But puppy pose, so if you imagine your little puppy having a stretch, tails are up in the sky. Holding here for one more big breath in. And breathe out. Walk the hands in, slowly bringing yourself all the way back until you are in hero pose. Now hero pose is uncomfortable if you're got any pains in your ankles, so feel free to miss this one out if that is the case for you. And we're just sitting tall, hands on laps. Roll the shoulders back and down and just try and gaze at something on the faraway wall in front of you. Taking a big deep breath in. And exhale, bringing your hands to the floor, curl your toes under, and then slowly you can begin to roll your body all the way up to standing. When you reach the top, you can roll your shoulders and head until you're standing tall in mountain pose. Okay, mountain pose is just the most basic yoga pose there is. Standing tall like a soldier, thinking about pulling everything up, so the arches of your feet lifted, kneecaps lifted, hips and groin holding forwards. Imagine that you are zipping your belly button up, chest up, and then down the back of our body is different. We're going to try and drop it. So the back, our chest comes up, but the backs of our shoulders melt down. Our tailbone slightly tucks under, and the backs of our legs feel long, down to the floor. Mountain pose. Okay, now make sure your feet are roughly hip width apart, so not outside of your hips, wherever that measurement is, the bony bits in your hips. So that's where it's going to go shooting down through our knees all the way to our ankles and heels. From here, take a big deep breath in, circle the hands high, bring them to prayer pose above your head. Then we're going to take a little tilt over to one side. Try and relax your ear away from the arms. Top arm. Inhale, come back up to centre. Exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale, come back up to centre. Now stepping the legs wide. Toes turned out towards the corners. And you're going to sit into a squat. Open the arms. This is called cactus arms. So if you imagine the 3 points in a cactus. Knees are bent. I like to imagine goddess poses like riding a big Clydesdale. So you're trying to be as flat as possible. Really trying to engage your inner thighs. If this muscle here is weak, this tends to happen, and the knees fold inwards and the outside edges of our feet lift. So we're trying to open everything up whilst we sink down. So feel that little burn in your glutes to begin with. Keep holding. Take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you're squeezing the arms back to touch the wall behind you. So hold that squeeze. Take another big deep breath in. And exhale, try and get a little bit deeper down into your goddess squat. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, and we come into a big star, a big 5-point star. And we're going to turn our foot to the side, straighten the arms out into a T, and then I'm saying side because I don't want to confuse anyone with lefts and rights tonight, it doesn't matter. So you've got one foot running towards the side wall, your other foot is going to turn and face straight forward towards me. If that's how we're all set up in here, okay. Arms stretched out into T-shape. Keep your hips, legs exactly as they are, but start to reach forward past your toe. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Once you think you've got as far as you can go, drop that front hand, lift the back hand, and we're into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Look up towards the sky. However, if you're feeling off balance, look to the floor. If the hand up to the sky is tight in your shoulders, you can do teapot hand on the hip instead. Holding here, taking another big deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Another big deep breath in. And exhale. Last one, deep breath in. And as you exhale this time, I want you to bring your top hand down. Now it might just come to your knee, that's okay, you might be touching the floor. Jump that back foot in ever so slightly and turn the foot so it's no longer facing the camera, it's going to the corner. Then we're going to take our hands down that leg as far as we can go and feel the stretch in the hamstring into our pyramid pose or Paschimottanasana. Take it as low as you can. Fingertips can come to the floor. Or what's actually harder than fingertips on the floor is hands in prayer. And those prayer hands just resting on the inner ankle. That way we are relying solely on our feet for balance and not that extra 2 points off our foundations. Now try and make a long line through your spine. So if we're curled, yes, we might be able to get down lower, but we're giving up that good posture. So try and get a happy medium somewhere in between. Hold in here, one more big deep breath in. And exhale, you can bend that front knee for a little bit of help, bring the hands to the floor, and then we're going to step that back foot a little bit further back and come into our low lunge. We practice this in the warm-up, so knee down this time. When you're ready, we're going to sweep the hands up into crescent. So if you imagine you're trying to make a half moon shape, you're scooping your back out. If you're tight lower back, don't worry about that tonight. You might want to just stay here. If you're wanting to give it a go, try the back bend, look up to the sky, try and relax your neck, let your chin lift. Double check that your knee is above your heel. That knee's still pushing forwards, hips are still down. Then we've got that added challenge of the back bend. Keep going guys, I'm just going to have a wee scan. Fab, looking good with the back bends. If you're finding it easy guys, what you can try is moving that knee even further back so it almost becomes more like you're about to do the splits. Don't worry if that's not your level tonight. Do what's comfortable. This is a toughie. It's also a challenge for balance. As soon as you lift your eyes and look to the sky, you're going to feel a little bit wobblier. So try and find a point on the ceiling that you can stare at, and that will help. Okay, hands to the inside of that front leg. And we're going to have to do a little bit of a pivot here. So this front foot, I'm going to turn it to face the corner, the front corner. And then my back leg, I'm going to straighten it, turn it onto the heel, and then try and get a full straight leg. Now, options here. Come up a little bit higher and have your hands holding you on the floor. Come up much higher and you can hold your balance on your hips. Try and keep that toe up towards the ceiling. Or harder option is to stay low, lift your chest, lift your hands into prayer and use this elbow to push the knee back. Now pick whatever option's good for you. I'm just going to have a wee scan. Okay, I'll talk through that a little bit slower. So we're moving from here. Hands come in between. Everything turns, so our hips and our chest turn to face the front. Toe goes up to the sky and we're in a little side lunge. Now, I think this is the easiest option, the hands on the floor. However, some people like coming up higher. It's almost like doing a half goddess, but you've got a straight leg. You can flatten the foot if that's nicer for you. Harder option is definitely low squat, hands to chest. We're looking good. I'm not going to hold you here for much longer, don't worry. 3, 2, 1, hands to the floor. Bring your body centre. Walk the feet in ever so slightly. Then when you're ready, bend in both knees. Come into Malasana or Yogi squat. Now I'm at the lowest option here with my bum down towards the ground. Easier option is to come up a little bit higher. Maybe hands on hips. Maybe have a shake and try again. Whatever you need to do to come to your yogi squat. So good for opening hips, lower back. It's meant to be women hold most of their stress and tension in their hips. Men are more shoulders, upper back. So it's good to have all these stretches in just in case. That is where you feel it most. Now we're going to reverse this coming up the other side of the body. So bring your hands to the floor, stretch your new leg out to the side, and we're straight into our side lunge or our Skandasana pose on the other side. Now this is the worst pose, so once we get this out of the way, it's plain sailing on the road home. Keep it going. Try and bring your chest up tall if you're doing this option, or come up a little bit higher. Or keep your hands on the floor for balance. Play about with it, find an option that's good for you tonight. Hold in here for 3, 2, 1. Pivot that back foot, bring your front foot around to face the top of your mat. Drop the back knee. Thank goodness that's over. Okay, when you're ready, we're coming back up into our crescent shape. So we're going to scoop the hands high. Might just be here tonight for you. Or try the back bend. As you go into your back bend, remember that your legs don't move. Okay, so relax the neck, lift the chin up to the sky. Looking good. If there's a wee wobble, don't worry. Now, I'm going to keep you in this pose for a little bit longer because it's slightly easier than the last one we did. But if you are feeling wobbly, check that your heel of your front foot and the knee of your back leg aren't in the same line. So if they're on a tightrope, you are going to be wobbling from side to side. So take it wider, almost like you're on train tracks, and you'll feel a big difference. Then double check for me that your front knee is above your heel. So Alison Russell can bring hips forwards, forwards, forwards. Get a little bit lower. Nice, perfect. Now you're going to feel it. Keep holding. Try that little back bend finish. 3, 2, 1. Bringing the hands to the floor. Well done. Curl your back foot under and do a little hop up so that the heel is flat on the ground. Straighten your front leg and come to your pyramid pose. You can relax your neck here as well. Now, you don't have to be this far down. You could just meet your knee. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly, hold on to the wall, or maybe hands on hips. Wherever you are, we're getting a stretch in that hamstring of the front leg. Think about straight backs. Now, conscious that this might be easy-ish for some people, so if you need a harder option to suit your body, what you can do is inhale, lift the arms up so that your biceps are squeezing either side of your ears. Easier option for anyone is hands on hips and a slight bend into the front knee. But what we're trying to go for is a straight leg at the front. Holding here for one more big deep breath in. And exhale. Bring the hands down towards the floor or as low as you can go. Then we're going to move that back leg. So rather as it being at the corner, we're going to turn it so it faces me at the front. And then when you're ready, this is going to test your balance. Inhale up, fan that top arm up to the sky so your chest is open, your hips are getting pulled round. Feel that twist in your spine, but also we're still stretching this inner thigh, that hamstring off our front leg. Keep it going. For those who need a harder option, I'm going to show you how to do a little bind on this side. So from the front, I'll show you first. You're going to bring that top arm behind your back. See if you can tickle your rib cage on the other side. Then your hand that's down at the floor is going to go underneath the leg and then try and get to your rib cage as well. Then straighten the leg again. I'm going to do that facing this way just to show you. So 1 minute we are in our long triangle, long flat back, arm up to the sky. Then I'm going to go round behind to meet my rib cage. This hand is going to go under, through between my legs, meet my hand, and then straighten. Keep trying to look up to the sky, but that is a much harder option if anyone wants to give it a go. If you are not at that option, don't worry, you will be here instead, or here, or maybe here. Lots of different levels, so go for the one that suits you. If you're trying the bind, it's really important that your chest doesn't start looking down to the floor. Keep shining it open out to the wall, out in front. Perfect. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Big circle up. Come to your 5-point star. Really shoot your hands away. I'm going to try something a little bit different here. So bring your belly button forwards. Come into a little back bend. Open your chest as wide as you can. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Standing up tall again. And then turning your toes slightly out to the corners. Bend into both knees. Cactus arms. We are in our goddess pose. Now try and create a straight line from elbow to armpit, armpit to elbow. Now those I can see, you already look pretty low, but I'm going to ask you to go an extra inch down into your goddess. Woohoo! Look at that, fabulous. Now squeeze those elbows back, imagine you're pushing your arms back into the wall behind you. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Standing all the way up tall, bring your hands to prayer, and then you can walk or jump your feet in to meet each other in the middle. Good. Take a big deep breath in, stand as tall as you can. Then exhale over to one side. Inhale, back up tall. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, back to the centre. And then just exhale, forward fold. Slowly diving it down, just let your arms hang heavy. Shake out your neck. And just stay here in our forward fold. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Okay, we've got a few poses left to do. Again, there'll be different options, so pick the one that suits you. If you would like to have a chair handy, so that you can put your hands there rather than having to try and reach for the floor, grab a chair or the windowsill or whatever you've got handy. That'll help keep everything comfy for you. Okay, here goes for the hard poses. I want you to lift your weight into one foot. Now tonight you might have a toe tap down and you can flatten that foot whenever you need a little rest. You might be able to stretch that leg all the way back and point your toe, or you might be able to lift that leg. give it a go. Now we're going to be here for about a minute. It is tough, but feel free to stand up, shake it out, and then come back down and join whenever you can. Whichever level you're at, I want you to lift the same hand as foot and place on your hip. Now I'm doing the hardest option right now, but you might be down here instead. Or hand on chair, or table, or windowsill, whatever you've got. Or the wall. Okay, rather as pointing your toe, those who've got it lifted, I want you to flex your foot so the toes go down towards the floor. Then I want you to rotate from your hip and turn your toes to face the side wall. When you're ready, bring your chest as far round as you can. Now I know some of you have done lots of yoga before, so I'm going to give you this harder option. Rather as teapot arm, you can lift your top arm up and come into half moon pose. That's hard, okay? So please don't be disheartened if that's not a pose that you are managing tonight. Bring yourself back down. I'm gonna, hopefully you can still see me if I go to my windowsill. This might be the pose that you do tonight. It is still a toughie. That hamstring is working. All the little muscles in my ankle are working to keep me balanced. My tummy's having to work, my core is working to keep me strong and balanced in the middle as well. So whatever option you're working on, you can go here again. Hold it here for 2, 1, bring that back foot back down to the floor. Slowly have one more forward fold. You might even want to give your legs a little hug. And then roll your body all the way up to standing for a much needed shake off. We've got that to do on one more side and then we are done with all the hard stuff tonight. So when you're ready, inhale up. Exhale, fold it forwards, have that nice stretch for the back of your legs again. Shaking out the tension in the neck. Okay, when you're ready, shift the weight into your left foot or your other sides from last time. You might manage to bring the foot behind, maybe onto the toe, or maybe even lifted. Whichever height you come to, stay there with your feet. Then take your same hand off the floor, so same hand as foot that's lifted, and place it on your hip. If it's hard to touch the floor, use something higher. When you're ready, you can try and lift that back foot off the ground. For those that are doing full half moon pose, sorry, that makes no sense. For those who are doing half moon pose, you can come all the way up, flex your foot so the toes point to the ceiling, then open your hip, toes go to the side wall. You might try one hand off, or even hand to the sky. Half moon pose. Now, again, I'm not trying to dishearten anyone who finds this tricky, but I realise there's people in here that want harder options because they are flexible. What you can do is lift your bottom hand off the floor. Ooh. And you're only balancing on that one leg now. Keep that back foot flexed. Wee-hee. Use the wall, use the floor, whatever you need to balance. We're going to hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring the hand back down to the ground. Step that back foot in. Bend in both knees. Curl yourself down into a tiny little ball. Oh, hamstrings will be on fire, hopefully. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands back to bring yourself lying onto the floor, or you might be able to do a little rock and roll. Again, totally up to you, personal preference. Pick the option that your body likes. Once you've had a few rock and rolls, just lie flat on your back, let your head rest into the ground, stretch those legs long, and turn your palms up to face the ceiling, welcoming in good energy to the body, allowing the whole back of your body, heels up the back of your legs, your bottom, all of your back, and the back of your head, all melting down into the ground. With every inhale, your heart lifts towards the sky, and with every exhale, you allow your body to soften down again. Just try and slow everything down. Even go back to that breath that we did at the start. Count it for yourself. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Just do that a few more times, a few more rounds, counting for yourself, making that count of 4 longer or shorter to suit you. And just take a little scan from the bottom of your body all the way up to the top. Are your toes relaxed? As relaxed as they possibly can be. Are your legs soft? Are your hips melting down to the ground? Is your whole back spreading onto the floor? Are your arms soft? Are they like jelly flopping down? Shoulders melting away from the ears. Your fingertips curled up slightly so that your hands are fully relaxed. And your mouth open ever so slightly so that your jaw is relaxed too. Now if you're all at home, I don't know why I was saying that, you're all at home, so if you wish to stay here in your Savasana for a little bit longer tonight, please feel free to do that. You can even leave the meeting so you don't hear any of the background noise. Or when you're ready, you can slide your heels in and give yourself a big hug, bringing your nose up to your knees. When you're ready, rock onto your side, bringing yourself up into easy seated pose. And I want you to take the same fingers from the beginning of the class, so pointing fingers, and just press them down either side into the ground so we are once again grounded into our mat, our yoga space. You can keep your eyes closed again. With it being full moon tonight, it is a chance to manifest whatever you want to achieve, what you want to receive. So set yourself an intention for either your yoga practice going forwards or something to do with work or family, whatever it might be, something special to you. You can think about that intention, even write it down after class so it becomes more real. You are more accountable for that intention happening. Then when you're ready, take a big deep breath in, circle the hands high above your head into prayer. Then we're coming down through the centre line of the body to your forehead. May we have kind and loving thoughts. To your lips, kind and loving communication. And to the centre of your heart, kind and loving intentions. Namaste. Well done everyone. Perfect.